Welcome to Folk Tales by African Tales by Kemet. Here, we dive deep into rich African narratives filled with wisdom, drama, and life lessons. If you're passionate about authentic African stories, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep up with all our tales. Let's get into today's story. As Nana entered the room, a hush fell. Her classmates stared at her with a mixture of disgust and pity, and Nana's heart began to race. What was going on? Nana was the star student at Victoria Noble Academy, an all-girls secondary school known for its high standards. At 16, she stood out not only for her striking beauty but also for her intelligence. She was always at the top of her class, tirelessly working to maintain her position as the most brilliant student. Every day, she would wake up early, don her neat school uniform, and head to school with determination. Her long dark hair was neatly styled, and her face glowed with a natural beauty that needed no enhancement. As she walked through the school gates, heads would turn and whispers would follow. "That's Nana," the other girls would say. "Always perfect, always the best." But Nana paid them no attention. Her focus was solely on her studies. In class, she sat in the front row, eagerly absorbing every word her teachers said. Her hand was always the first to rise, and her answers were always correct. However, her beauty had become a distraction. Even some teachers found themselves captivated. Mr. Thompson, her mathematics teacher, often stumbled over his words when explaining problems to her. Mr. Okafor, her literature teacher, admired her graceful handwriting and insightful essays. But despite all this attention, Nana was oblivious. After school, while others rushed home or to their clubs, Nana would stay back to study, spreading her books across her desk and diving into her studies. One evening, as the sun cast long shadows across the empty classroom, she was deep in her literature textbook when a voice interrupted her. "Nana, you're still here?" It was Aisha, one of her classmates. "Yes, just finishing some extra reading," Nana replied with a smile. Aisha scanned the books on Nana's desk, then laughed. "If I looked like you, I wouldn't stress over studying so much. The teachers adore you. You could get good grades without all this effort." Nana's eyebrows knitted in confusion. "What do you mean? Haven't you noticed? Teachers like Mr. Thompson and Mr. Okafor, they practically fall over themselves when you're around. You could probably get good grades with a smile alone," Aisha said with a mischievous grin. Nana was stunned. She had never thought of using her looks to her advantage. "But that wouldn't be right," she replied hesitantly. Aisha shrugged. "Just a thought. Anyway, don't stay too late." As Aisha left, Nana's mind buzzed with this new idea. She had always believed in hard work and honesty, but Aisha's words lingered. Could her beauty make life easier? The next morning, Nana awoke feeling strangely uncertain. She stood before her mirror, taking in her reflection. For the first time, she wondered if she'd been blind to the influence she might have. In class, she noticed the effect her presence had, catching lingering glances from teachers and hearing whispers from classmates. Mr. Thompson handed out a surprise quiz, and Nana felt a moment of panic. She hadn't prepared. Remembering Aisha's words, she looked up at him and smiled sweetly. "I hope I did well on the quiz," she murmured. Mr. Thompson looked flustered. "I'm sure you did fine, Nana. You're my best student after all." The next day, Nana was stunned to see a perfect score on her quiz. She knew she hadn't answered everything correctly. Could Aisha have been right? Encouraged, Nana began to rely on her looks, studying less and using smiles and kind words to maintain her grades. But soon her classmates grew resentful. They saw how she seemed to breeze through tests with little effort. Even Aisha, who had planted the idea, grew envious. One afternoon, as Nana left school, she overheard teachers talking. She paused, listening. "Have you noticed how Nana's been acting lately?" Mr. Okafor's voice was serious. Yes, it's quite a change, replied Miss Thompson. She's using her charms more often. It's becoming a problem. The other students are starting to complain. They feel we're showing favoritism, Mr. Okafor added. Nana felt a chill run down her spine and hurried away, guilt and fear twisting within her. That night, unable to sleep, she thought about what she had heard. Had she crossed a line? The next morning, she went to school without any makeup and tied her hair back in her usual way, determined to return to her old ways. But as she entered the classroom, a hush fell over the room. Her classmates looked at her with a mixture of disgust and pity. Aisha's voice finally broke the silence. If it isn't our star student, Aisha said loudly, or should I say, something else? Nana felt her world spinning. What are you talking about? Oh, come on, Aisha sneered. Everyone knows what you've been doing to get those grades. Sleeping with teachers, that's low even for you. Nana felt as if she'd been slapped. That's not true, she cried. But her protests were met with disbelief. Just then, the principal, Ms. Agata, appeared at the door and called Nana to her office. In the principal's office, Ms. Agata's expression was stern. I've heard disturbing rumors about you and the teachers, she said. Whether true or not, the damage is done. Parents are demanding action, Nana pleaded. I only used my looks a little to get better grades, but nothing else. But Ms. Agata's face remained cold. We have no choice but to expel you, Nana. Her world shattered, expelled. Her perfect record and dreams vanished in an instant. Leaving the office, she saw Aisha in the corridor, a smug smile on her face. Only then did she realize the depth of her friend's betrayal. Nana's parents were devastated. They didn't believe the rumors, but they were deeply disappointed. Eventually, they found another school willing to accept her. On her first day at Ika High School, a far cry from Victoria Noble Academy, Nana felt like a different person. She was no longer the confident top-of-the-class student. She was a girl who had been given a second chance, vowing to succeed honestly and prove her true worth. Little did she know, her journey at Ika High School would bring new challenges and lessons, setting her on a path of self-discovery that would redefine who she was.